Hey guys, it's David from CoreFit. Just want to go over a few tips for warming up for runs. We've given you guys the 12-week plan. Hopefully you're out there getting on the road, getting some runs in on the trails, wherever, even if it's on the treadmill, getting out there and getting those runs in. So we're gonna go over a few movements, a couple stretches, things to get your legs nice and warmed up for these runs. I'm out here today on the Centennial Trail, got the beautiful river behind us, enjoying a great day. There's only been a few spots on the trail that are still icy and snowy. Other than just a couple, maybe 50 yards, it's been clear and amazing to get out and run on. So make sure you note that so you guys can get out this next week and get running. Doesn't look like we're gonna see too much snow here much further in the future, so lots of opportunities to run. The few things we're gonna go over today in this warm-up video are stretches, a few movements to get those legs firing off and get your hips warmed up. So when you get out there and start running, you're gonna reduce the risk of injury and feel a lot better with your movements while you're running. So take the opportunity to take some notes during this. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or anyone at the gym. We can always respond and answer any questions we have for you guys about this running plan or any movements that you're looking to incorporate to better yourself while working out. Okay guys, so one of the first movements I want to go over, and it's going to be a little tricky where I'm standing, but I'm going to do my best, is pulling your knee to your chest and going into the Warrior 3. What this does is this is going to open up that hip that you're leaning down on that leg and also stretch through that hamstring and that calf. What you want to do is pull that knee up to your chest as high as you can, as I got to get my balance here, and you're going to just reach back with that leg, reaching those arms forward, going into this Warrior 3 pose. This is going to get a really good stretch through that calf, through that hamstring, and open that hip up for you. Holding this for 10 to 30 seconds as long as you can, and then alternating legs, pulling this up, shooting it back, and going right into that pose. This is a great one to really start off with, to stretch those legs, get them warmed up. Stretches. First one I like to do is just a side lunge. Just trying to get as deep as possible into this lunge, really stretching out those hip flexors, stretching, opening up your hips as much as possible. Spinning about 10 to 30 seconds each stretch, getting through there as much as you can. This is something that doesn't matter where you are, middle of a run, warming up for the run, that you can always throw these stretches in when you're waiting at a stoplight, stop sign, or waiting for your buddies to catch up. This is a great way to stretch out those hips. All right guys, so one of my favorite stretches that we do at CoreFit regularly is called the world's greatest stretch. This is a great way to start warming up those hips and warming up those legs for getting into that run in the morning. So what you want to do is just step into a nice big lunge. You're going to take that elbow and chest down to the ground, keeping this foot as flat as you can to the ground, really kind of opening that knee up so you can open those hips, stretching those legs out. There's a handful of different versions. We like to go through this when we warm people up. This is a great way to get those legs warmed up. Once you get a good stretch through here, you're just gonna extend that leg, stretch that calf out, that hamstring out really good, and then come back down to a knee and really stretch those arms overhead. The more you push those hands up straight over those hips, over those shoulders, the more you're gonna get a stretch. So really force those arms up. Switch legs 2 to 3 times. How you feel will tell the most. Listen to your body. Really get deep in these stretches so you can really open yourself up for this run and the warm-up that you're getting into. A couple movements I like to do personally before I start any run is I like to get alternating high kicks, switching with my hand. So that way you can really, again, stretch those hips out, get your legs ready to get those knees as high as you can while running. We don't want to see small little knee movement. We want to see that knee coming up as high as you can to get that turnover rate, to get that wheel motion we're looking for when we're running. Something that's great that you can do in addition to those alternating high kicks is high knees. So these are things that you're going to just throw in there in the warm up, just start getting those skipping high knees, really opening those hips up again, getting those legs warmed up, getting those glutes, those calves warmed up to get ready for the run that you're about to go on. A great little sequence to go through when getting these warm-ups for your run are to incorporate 2 or 3 movements into a series. So something I like to do is go alternating high kicks to high knees to squats. So I'd get, 5 each leg, get 5 each leg, high knees, and then I'm gonna go right into like 10 body weight squats. Nice, slow, good controlled squats. Repeat that sequence 2-3 times, throwing in some of those lunge stretches as well as the world's greatest stretch. You're gonna really warm those legs up. Another great movement is the karaoke. This is something that you're gonna go laterally and you're gonna just cross your legs over one another, alternating front to back to front, back. And then you're just gonna come back and do this, picking up some speed, getting those legs warmed up, starting to activate those IT bands, get those glutes firing. That way, again, when we're pulling those knees up, we're getting that turnover rate. It's through a good steady motion, no lagging in our wheel motion from our running. A great way to start your runs is to have an extra distance included in there. So if you're gonna go out and run, say 6 miles, that's your goal for the day. What you wanna do is really more realistically, say 6.5 to almost 7 miles. I personally, if I'm gonna go out and do 6 and I'm trying to run it in a certain time frame, I'm gonna do 7 total. I'm gonna use a half a mile as a warm up. So I'm gonna start my pace off much slower than I normally would. So as that example I gave in that running plan, if you run a 5-minute mile, your fastest, your training pace is usually gonna be 2 to 3 minutes slower. So if I'm running a 5-minute mile and I wanna go out and run my 6 miles at my 7-minute pace, something pretty quick, still a steady rate, that first half a mile of the total 7 that I am gonna do before I get into that 6, I'm gonna start off more at like 8.5, 9-minute pace. I'm gonna let my legs get really warmed up. I'm not gonna just go charge into it. Once I feel that they're nice and warm, I'm gonna increase my speed to that 7-minute, maybe under 7-minute mile pace so that I can get that 6 miles in, what I'm looking for in that time frame. After I reach that, what I'm gonna do is use about another quarter to a half a mile to cool down, bring myself back down to that 8, almost 9-minute mile pace so my legs get a little bit of recovery time so I'm not just gassing it and stopping, gassing it and stopping. Want to make sure my body has the most it can get out of what I'm offering it. And that warm up is really going to help those legs through all those movements we've gone through to make that run even better.